Esperanza Hall residents expressed their concerns about student engagement at the first day of the student body. A&M San Antonio has announced they're relaunching a mariachi band on campus. In our third edition of The Inside, President Mattson talks about Aspire, an educational program in San Antonio. Hello and welcome to another episode of Enlace. I'm your host, Vivian Serna, and today we'll be covering the latest news on campus and around San Antonio. Students gathered on February 18th for SGA's State of the Student Body. Oziel Treviño tells us what students had to say.
I was part of the change, helping to change it, not
For Daisy and Moshe, living on campus can be a great way to experience the college life. But what is the university doing to bring the college experience to students that live on campus?
Wanted to see how I could further connect the residents that live in the dorms to the campus life, because I know on the weekends and some of the events are during class. So I just wanted to see how I could be involved and help make the change.
Daisy raised these concerns this past Tuesday. The Student Government Association held its first ever State of the Student Body Forum in the Vista Room in efforts to bring students like Daisy together to be a part of solutions at Texas A&M University-San Antonio.
I just wish that we had something that would draw people to stay on campus and be more proud of their school.
Students, faculty, and staff raised questions about parking, a campus student clinic, student-resident engagement, and much more. We asked SGA President La-Tieka how students can be involved with SGA.
Students are always welcome to join. So there's this question of how do I become a member? The funny thing about Student Government Association is by being a student, you're already a member, because what happens at this campus, the changes that happen impact you. So you are already a member, whether you choose to use your power and communicate with us.
Students interested in running for SGA can now apply through Jackson until February 28th. SGA is an organization that represents the voice of the student body. For Enlace, Oziel Treviño.
The Women at Work program at A&M San Antonio hosted Denise Hamilton, a public speaker with 25 years of experience working with Fortune of 100 companies.
I'm tapped out. I do not measure my life in likes. I measure my life in the quality and the depth of the relationships and the people that I associate with.
Denise Hamilton, founder and CEO of WatchHerWork.com, launched a multimedia digital platform to close the achievement gap between men and women in the workplace. Hamilton's organization shares advice from top female professionals to help people excel in their careers.
There are so many things, so many stories that are bouncing around in our heads that, quite frankly, aren't true, or they drive our decisions. Things like, you can never do that. They don't hire people like you. You can't be advanced in an organization if you're a woman or if you're a minority. You're never going to get that opportunity. I want to make sure that people get those stories out of their heads and have the courage to create the optimal conditions for them to fly and to be the best that they can be.
She says she believes iron sharpens iron, and that she hopes people take her actionable tips and apply them to their lives.
So I think it's really important to have these gatherings where you bring in speakers to kind of challenge you, shake you up, and make you just rethink the way you're approaching your daily life.
The event was a part of Women at Work program hosted by the university. Women at Work aims to encourage and support women on campus. Dr. Melissa Mahan, executive director for Henry G. Cisneros Institute for Emerging Leaders, says Women at Work showcases women's stories for people to learn and achieve their dreams.
Women at Work, organization is it happens every month. And we bring in wonderful speakers like we had today, and it really gives the women the confidence they need to be able to move up and take risks. That's what it's about. It's really giving our women confidence on campus to be able to reach their dreams.
The next Women at Work event will be a president's panel on March 18th at the Vista Room. I'm Armando Villarreal, Enlace.
A&M San Antonio and 7 Bexar County school districts are partnering to address common educational needs. Armando Villarreal sat down with President Mattson to give us a closer look at this collaboration.
Texas A&M University-San Antonio partnered with 7 South San Antonio school districts to create academic programs that will generate additional services and address the growing need for teachers in the area. The partnership includes East Central, Edgewood, Harlandale, Somerset, South San Antonio, Southside, and Southwest Independent School Districts. I sat down with President Matson to get the insight of the Aspire program.
And as you know, with Aspire, we were the first in the state to make that announcement, to have a public school partnering with a university. That has not been done yet under this legislation. So yes, that's a first, and I do think they will become feeder schools. They are already feeder schools, but I think it provides more encouragement to even consider attending college, because there's a high percentage of students in these South Bexar County districts that go nowhere. They don't go on to any form of education, either a certificate or an associate's or a bachelor's degree.
The collaboration would create lab schools where students would get hands-on experience working with instructors and students.
So they're called lab schools, which is short for laboratory, a laboratory school concept, which basically connects a university with an actual practicing school as its learning laboratory. So that's where the term lab school doesn't necessarily originate, but the connection. So we have submitted a couple of applications. I'm not at liberty to say with whom, but they could be up and running as soon as fall of 2020. They would not be located on campus, they would be in the community in those various districts. But you are correct with the partnership that we announced with the 7 school districts. It's our intent to have at least one lab school partnership with each of the districts. So that's in motion now.
A&M San Antonio announced that the Edgewood Independent School District Board agreed for the university to become an operating partner on January 22nd. Tune in on the next episode of Enlace to watch the insight featuring President Matson. I'm Armando Villarreal, Enlace.
Black History Month events continued this past week. On February 14th, the university observed the birthday of abolitionist Frederick Douglass with a transcribe-a-thon. Universities across the U.S. host events like this to preserve the work of African American writers in a digital format.
So the Douglass Day event is an event celebrating, commemorating Frederick Douglass's birthday. It's a day that he chose because he didn't know his actual birthday. So every year on this day, we do work with the Color Conventions Project, work with the Smithsonian, this year with Howard University, and transcribing historical documents. This is an important thing to do because not only do you get to take a part in history, but also in letting people know the importance of Black history, of all the contributions that people have made. This year, our transcribing work is focusing on Anna Julia Cooper, who's a Black feminist and did some extraordinary work back in her day. So we're transcribing a lot of her papers for people to learn more about her and for her work to live on, her legacy to live on.
When we come back, we have Jewelz with our extended forecast. Wasn't it? Thank you for staying with us. Jaguars on campus who enjoy music will soon be able to take part in A&M San Antonio's relaunch of the university's mariachi band. Christy Romero tells us more.
The sound of mariachi songs can be heard all over San Antonio, but it can soon be heard at our A&M campus. Dr. Mari Fuentes Martin, Vice President of Student Success and Engagement, is leading the way for Jaguars to be a part of A&M's new mariachi group.
As an institution where 70% of our students identify as Hispanic, that it's important to celebrate the cultural heritage of the region and the community that we're in. San Antonio is rich with Mexican history, Texas history, and I feel like mariachi and folklorico and corridos and all those leyendas are all part of the tradition that we should study and uphold.
But this is not her first time creating an organization.
We co-founded an organization called Ballet Folklorico Azul y Oro. We got asked to perform all the time because even in South Bend, Indiana, they were very hungry for cultural performances, especially because they were student-centered.
Mariachi Torito members Arthur Flores and Pancho Rodriguez are looking forward to A&M having a mariachi.
I think students could benefit from mariachi music. For one, they learn it's about their culture. They learned music, like they say, music is the universal language. So I think when we have our students go into university level, when they go into their jobs and what have you, some turn out to be music directors, mariachi directors, and it's going to benefit our future students.
I think it's good, like Arthur said, for the culture. It's going to benefit all the musicians.
Just seeing that Texas A&M grows so much here in San Antonio, just everywhere, it's beautiful. So it's just going to benefit all these students. Mariachi comes from the heart, and if you really love something, you can see the students work, and the love comes out of their music.
Students will be auditioning on the 25th and 27th. Christy Romero for Enlace.
The university hosted a screening of filmmaker Ray Santiesteban documentary, The First Rainbow Coalition. The film shows the work of Chicago African American and Latino activists in fighting segregation, police brutality, and other issues. Santiesteban shared the students the inside details of his film, which he says took 14 years to make. He says his biggest challenges were getting funding and earning the trust of his sources.
So we're taking the film on the road. We want to go any place where people are interested in these ideas. We want to talk to them. We want them to see the film, and hopefully there'll be a dialogue. And hopefully we plant seeds in the minds of the viewers about the possibilities of working together with other communities.
The First Rainbow Coalition premiered on January 27 and is now available for streaming on pbs.org. And now we have Jewelz Pope with our weather update.
Thank you so much, Vivian. And now it's time for our weekend forecast. Currently in San Antonio, it is rainy and cloudy. As you can see, these gray areas is the cloudiness that will be hovering us all Thursday long. The green areas is the rain that's going from Hondo to San Antonio all the way to New Braunfels. And now for our temperature, it is currently 47 degrees and rainy here in San Antonio. And in Gonzales, it is 46 degrees. And in New Braunfels, it is 47 degrees. And now for our upcoming weekend, it is going to be 54 degrees. On Saturday, 60 degrees. And then things will heat up on Sunday for 74 degrees. And there's a 40% chance that it'll rain. So keep that in mind. And thank you so much for tuning in. I am Jewelz Pope. Back to you, Vivian.
Thank you so much, Jewelz, for that weather update. And now I'm here with someone special who you may have seen all around campus. I'm here with La-Tieka Sims, who is the president of SGA. La-Tieka, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So you're the president of SGA, but not that many people know what SGA is. Can you please tell us more about SGA and what you guys do?
So SGA is short for Student Government Association, and Student Government Association in a phrase is the voice of the students. And what that means is on campus, whenever there are issues that need to be addressed, whenever students have issues they want to bring to us, ideas, anything like that, they can communicate that to us, and we are that bridge between them and administration so that we can voice these concerns, so we can be that representation and help influence the change that happens on campus for the students.
So what have you guys done, and what plans do you guys have in the future for SGA?
So we've had a busy year so far, especially considering we're only halfway through our term. We've helped with some parking issues, not only for residents, but for clinical teaching students. We've started tackling some of the issues with the dining services. We have started working on, there are a variety of things. We've started expanding some of the services that we try to offer. So we already offered things like Scantrons, blue books, and pencils for free for students who need it. But now we're working with the university to add condom dispensers on campus as well for free. And that's just some of the things that we've tackled in the past semester. Upcoming, some of the things that we're going to continue to work towards are different committees that help strengthen the student presence on decisions made for things like parking issues, for dining services, for the bookstore, things like that. So those are committees that are being in the works. They're not complete yet, but SGA is going to have seats on those so that we can represent the student perspective. We're also working on tackling issues like with the vending machines and getting resident life more involved in the conversations that happen when it comes to different issues on campus.
Cool. So it's my understanding you're graduating this year, but that means we're going to have a new president. So where do you see SGA in the future?
I see SGA continuing to push through. I feel like we've made a lot of progress this year, and I don't anticipate it stopping. And so I know that whoever comes in after, they'll continue to keep the train moving. They'll continue to advocate for the students. They'll continue to encourage the students to advocate, because that's the biggest thing. The power behind SGA is the student body. We are nothing without the student body. So if they're not telling us what they need, if they're not telling us what they want, then our voice doesn't have as much impact. So if you want to be a part of the solution, if you want to be a part of the change on campus, talk to your SGA. Even if it's just coming to a meeting and voicing opinions or stopping us in the hallway, you can be a part of the changes you want to see on campus.
Thank you so much, La-Tieka. Well, there you have it. And after the break, we have Alejandro Diaz with the latest in Jaguar sports. Welcome back. The 21st Annual San Antonio United Powwow was held at Mission County Park on February 15th and 16th. The event is hosted by the United Powwow Association, the American Indians in Texas. The event featured Native American music, dancing, and vendors. Dancers at the event were dressed in regalia that in some cases has been passed through generations. Music lovers gathered at the Richter Goods to experience live music in a unique setting. On February 13, a special Valentine's Day edition of the music series Listen brought in local musicians. Azul Barrientos, Michael Martin were among the musicians who performed. This series began in August of last year and has since drawn in a crowd every month.
I love doing acoustic solo songs, and I get to do things that I usually don't, or I'm not expected to do. So, I get to do what I like, basically. So, but that's one of the things that I like.
I really listen is the word, because having a room where people are a captive audience, it's really nice.
The Shops at Broward News plan to host other similar events in the future. Listen will host more events in the March, with plans of expanding to other venues.
Buenas, los saluda Alejandro Diaz y bienvenidos a Jaguar Sports, como siempre trayéndoles lo mejor del deporte en esta semana. Empezamos con lo que se vivió en el All-Star Weekend de la NBA. En el tradicional concurso de clavadas, el guardia del Miami Heat, Derrick Jones, fue quien se llevó el título, venciendo en la final a Aaron Gordon del Magic de Orlando. Eso sí, no sin algo de controversia. La polémica se dio luego de la última clavada de Gordon, en la que saltó por encima de Taco Fall de los Celtics de Boston, y quien es el jugador más alto de la NBA, midiendo 7,5 pies de estatura. Sin embargo, esto no fue suficiente para los jueces, que le dieron el triunfo a Jones ante la mirada atónita de todos los asistentes en el United Center. Y ya el domingo, antes del juego, se rindió homenaje a Kobe Bryant. Ahí lo vemos con la presencia de Magic Johnson, y ante el llanto de muchísimas personas, recordaron a la leyenda del baloncesto y a su hija Gianna. Magic le pidió a todos los asistentes tomarse de la mano y hacer un momento de silencio por 8 segundos. Y ya más adelante, la cantante Jennifer Hudson y el rapero Common pasaron al escenario para rendirle homenaje a la ex estrella de los Lakers y su ya conocida Mamba Mentality. Entrando en el juego de las estrellas, pues este año tuvo un cambio de formato para hacerle homenaje precisamente a Kobe y a su hija. El equipo de LeBron usó el número 2 y el equipo de Giannis jugó con el 24 durante el partido, pero eso no fue todo. Y es que los equipos jugaban para ganar cada uno de los primeros 3 cuartos por separado. El equipo de LeBron ganó el primer cuarto, el de Giannis el segundo, y el tercero resultó en un empate. Esto nos llevó al último cuarto, donde le sumaron 24 puntos al equipo que iba liderando, el de Giannis, así que el primero en llegar a 157 ganaba el juego. El equipo de LeBron se llevó la victoria, y Kawhi Leonard el MVP Kobe Bryant Award, el primero de su época. El pasado miércoles en la noche, el equipo de baloncesto masculino de A&M San Antonio se midió ante el equipo número 1 en el ranking, los Rangers de San Antonio College. Desafortunadamente, los Jaguars cayeron derrotados 94-60. Con la derrota, los Jaguars llegan a un récord de 1 ganados y 9 perdidos, pero permanecen optimistas de cara a la temporada. And while I'm here joined by Marshall Best, one of our students here at A&M San Antonio, and he's here to discuss a little bit about what happened in the All-Star weekend of the NBA. So there's a lot to unpack from what happened this past weekend. But let's start with what you thought of the new format that the game had, with these changes by the quarters and then the ending, and of course the Kobe Bryant tribute. Let me hear your reactions.
Man, what an all-star game. Probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. With the quarters playing for charity, I really loved how
definitely
the teams were going at it. The fourth quarter, they really amped it up. That's what we want to see. We want to see the best go up against the best. Exactly. So it was great. It was great. I loved it.
And it was great that it came down to the last basket. Either team could win it with just one basket.
Absolutely. I didn't like how it ended with the free throw.
With the free throw, I agree.
But there could be some changes to help that out. So maybe in the future they'll
I know, definitely. I did like though how what you mentioned about the charity, and then of course the end in the fourth quarter, that competitiveness that we saw in all of the players. It was almost like it was the Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, Game 7. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, getting into what happened in the dunk contest, though, there was a lot of controversy because a lot of people thought that Aaron Gordon got robbed. What did you think that happened in the dunk contest?
Man, it's tough because 4 years ago he got robbed people thought he got robbed against Zach LaVine, and the same thing happened here. I thought he won personally, but Derrick Jones came out. He did his thing. Yeah. He really did his thing. It was a great contest.
The way I see it is 4 years ago it was closer than people thought, because Zach LaVine he did amazing.
Right.
This time I really do feel that he did get robbed, because he did perform several different dunks.
He did.
To me, Derrick Jones kind of performed the same dunk maybe a few times, the same trick. But overall, it was a great All-Star weekend.
And to piggy off what you said, Zach LaVine did do a lot of dunks from the free throw line or close to it, which made it tougher. Derrick Jones did a lot of between the leg stuff, which was cool. But Aaron Gordon had the creativity. I think he should have won.
Exactly. Now, moving forward, what do you think? You think the NBA should implement this format for the All-Star games to
I like it. I think they should implement the format. Keep that fourth quarter competitive, and keep that tribute for Kobe. That was awesome. So I think that should.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Marshall, and I'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.
This weekend on Box Office Hit was a video game classic. Find out after the break.
Welcome back. On this week's edition of Ask a Jaguar, we asked our fellow Jaguars what their most used emoji. Let's take a look and see what they said.
It is the laughing one with the tears, because I'm just a happy person. I laugh at everything.
I have to say the yellow heart emoji, because that's my girlfriend's favorite.
Probably this. Okay, all good. I don't know, it's just plain, everybody gets it. No confusion.
My most used emoji is the laughing face with the tears. Probably just because my friends are really funny. They say a lot of funny things, so that's my reaction to them all the time.
The laughing emoji. The winky face. On my phone, I use the fire emoji.
The crying face, because I use it because I laugh when I cry. I cry when I laugh, you know what I mean? So that's what I do.
I would definitely say, as embarrassing as it sounds, it's the poop emoji.
My most used emoji is the crying out loud face with the tears and laughing. I use it all the time because I'm always laughing with people.
I usually like thumbs up or the muscle, because I'm all about fitness and I like to be very positive.
If you would like to find out about next week's Ask a Jar, be sure to follow us on Univision Media Lab. It was a busy weekend as a Sonic Hedgehog broke box office records. David Rojas brings us the latest in entertainment news.
La vida de un perro domesticado cambia cuando es trasladado a Alaska en los años 80. Él ahora se une a un grupo de perros cual su trabajo es guiar a un trineo de repartimiento. Puck ahora se encuentra en una aventura que le demuestra su verdadero propósito en esta vida. The Call of the Wild llega a cines este fin de semana. Regresa la terrorífica historia de The Boy. Esta vez una familia se muda a una casa nueva donde se encuentran con un muñeco llamado Brahms, cual parece ser un humano. The Boy es una película clasificada R y llega a cines este fin de semana. Si fuiste uno de los que dudaste en Sonic, pues sorprendentemente su nueva película llegó a recaudar $111 millones en su primer semana de estreno. Esta llega a ser la película de videojuegos más taquillera, sobrepasando a Detective Pikachu, cual sustentaba esta distinción. Si tú eres fan de Harry Potter, pon mucha atención. Se reveló que si tú le dices a tu asistente Google las palabras Lumos, Google prende la linterna, y si le dices Nox, la apagará. Te invito a que lo intentes y me digas en los comentarios si esto te funcionó.
Thank you for joining us at this week's edition of Enlace. We'll see you next week.